From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
One, we are the students.
One, we are the students.
Two, we won't stop fighting.
Two, we won't stop fighting.
Three, we want divestment now, now, now.
Three, we want divestment now, now, now.
One, we are the students. Two, we won't stop fighting. Three, we want divestment now, now, now.
One, we are the students. Two, we won't stop fighting. Three, we want divestment now, now, now.
Everyone move behind Josh. Philip. Hello, students, workers, staff, and faculty. My name is Philip, and I come before you today representing Central Florida Students for Justice in Palestine and the UCF Young Democratic Socialists of America. The last 2 years have been a heightened period of struggle for many in the United States. With the Trump administration in power once again, we will continue to see the capitalist ruling class expose the deep crisis of imperialism we are currently living under, and we'll continue to see this moving forward. How must we respond to this crisis? The last 2 years of struggle have proven that we must continue to put our full weight behind the struggle for Palestinian liberation. We must stand firm against the Zionist entity that maintains an apartheid occupation of Palestine, and stand firm against the U.S. imperialism that props up this entity. Today marks 544 years of escalated genocide. Let's not forget over 76 years of colonial terror inflicted by the Zionist entity. The Zionist entity has destroyed entire villages since 1948.
Shame.
Shame!
They have destroyed bloodlines, traumatized entire generations. They are continuing that genocide legacy today. It is absolutely disgusting. This is a genocide that kills children, women, men, doctors, athletes, journalists, and students just like us. A genocide that has been funded by our government and more. Disgustingly, our school, UCF, is guilty. UCF and Research Parkway, and every dollar, cent, and student they provide for the defense industry is guilty of perpetuating the death of millions all over the global south. Shame!
Shame!
It is our duty to continue to support this cause, not only in our words and principles, but materially, by demanding our university cuts all financial ties to the Zionist entity. We condemn UCF for the involvement in the genocide, providing weapons, employees, research, and money. We condemn UCF for the racist, bigoted policies that allow police to intimidate, manhandle, and repress students. It is clear that the university administration, through its financial ties and partnerships with war profiteers like Lockheed Martin, L3Harris, Siemens, Northrop Grumman, and many more that are present on university campus, is complicit in this ongoing genocide against the Palestinian people and the plundering of the global south. Shame!
Shame!
UCF is the #1 and preferred workforce supplier for aerospace and defense industries. 69% of the Zionist entity's total arms imports between 2019 and 2023 came from the USA right here. Northrop Grumman manufactures multiple weapon systems used by the Zionist entity military against Palestinian civilians. Instrumental in developing such things such as ICE deportation machines. The Department of Defense was UCF's largest funder in 2023. It has been marked #1 in quote, Homeland Security Programs, unquote. And Lockheed Martin is the #1 employer of UCF students. That is disgusting. We have continually mobilized, protested, and educated. In response, the state has responded by attempting illegal deportations of student activists. harassing us, suspending us, and arresting us. This response was clear with the illegal detention of Khalil, but this response isn't a new one. At UCF, many of our comrades have been arrested, suspended, and harassed. For many, and especially our Palestinian and Arab comrades, the universities are not a safe institution to set foot on. If you're willing to speak out against the genocide and expose Zionism and the imperialism that props it up, you will be targeted. The SJP rep couldn't even come to this today because of how much of a hotbed for repression this campus is. If you're willing to speak up, you'll be harassed, suspended, and arrested. We have to organize in the long term against these fascist attacks and protect our comrades. The material basis for this genocide lies in the heart of empire. As people living in the imperial core, it is our duty to organize and point out the continued financial backing of the Zionist entity and the war profiteers who back it. These people are complicit and perpetuate the genocide of the Palestinian people. Our task is clear. We must continue to organize against fascist attacks against students, migrants, and workers. We have to expose the material basis for genocide in the imperial core. We must expose all forms of reaction. The capitalist imperialist system must be uprooted and dismantled. This can only be done through organization on all fronts. This can only be done by supporting student activists and organizing the working class. Our demands are clear. We have just delivered them to Cartwright. The university has to disclose and divest towards Palestinian liberation, towards the liberation of the global South. Dismantle U.S. imperialism.
Go!
Hello. I'm here speaking not only as a member of Students for a Democratic Society, not only as a member of the Knights Against Genocide Coalition, but as a student at the University of Central Florida. The UCF student body is sick and tired of the university's continued complicity in the state's suppression of the student movement, the continued complicity in the Trump regime's targeting of Arab and Muslim students, the continued complicity in the attack on us, the students. The UCF student body is demanding an end to the Office of Student Conduct and Academic Integrity's collaboration with the U.S. state and its violence against students, an end to the presence of FBI agents and ICE agents on our campus, a guarantee that students won't be grabbed up and kidnapped in the middle of the night.
Shame!
Shame! Speaking as a member of SDS, one of our own members has been suspended and is facing hastily drawn up felony charges for simply protesting the genocide in Gaza.
Shame!
Shame! How quickly until that number rises from 1 to 2, 2 to 4. The kidnapping and suppression of student activists like Mahmoud Khalil and Leka Cordia are not one-off incidents, but a deliberate campaign from the Trump regime to silence those who fight against his crimes. The UCF campus should be a sanctuary for its students, somewhere they feel free to be heard, to live. We should not and cannot allow the Trump regime and the DeSantis government to take away our home, our lives. We cannot and will not allow this campus to be turned into a suffocating panopticon of fear and distrust. We want to trust in our university. We want to feel at home in our university. We want to make sure this campus is run for its students, not war profiteers and reactionary think tanks who could care less what happens to us. As it stands now, students are scared. They don't feel safe, but they are ready to fight back. The students of UCF, united by this coalition, will not allow our campus, our home, to be turned against us. We will not sit by as our friends disappear, our voices crushed and our lives cut short. We will make sure that if the university and its administration won't struggle against these encroachments on our rights, we, the students, will. When a UCF SDS member faced conduct charges simply for flyering, We organized, fought back, and won. When the Tampa 5 were facing felony charges, organized people stood up, fought back, and won. When fascistic forces stomp on our freedoms, we will come out on top. If we get organized, we stand together, and we fight back. This coalition is how the students of UCF can stand up and fight back. Our demands are for the university to protect its own students. This coalition exists, however, because the university's administration has chosen to side with the Trump regime over its own students. This coalition stands here to protect UCF students, to fight for UCF students, because when we fight for each other, we will win.
There's pigs all around us. Over there, and behind us. We need at least one person looking out behind here. They don't even see us. They might, looking at it, they might try to kettle us. So that's why I'm asking you guys to move up.
Hello everyone, my name is Naeem. I'm an organizer with the Florida Palestine Network, an intergenerational, anti-imperial, people-powered movement. I'm also a student who deeply understands the power of student movements and the resilience of the people and the steadfastness of the Palestinian liberation struggle. Over the last 17 months, we have seen our politicians on all sides of the aisle actively make excuses for, propagate, and participate in genocide. We will not let them pretend that they were on the right side of history for 10 years from now. We will not let the U.S. pretend like it isn't directly complicit. We will hold them accountable. Over these 17 months of accelerated genocide, the U.S. has sent hundreds of multi-billion-dollar weapon shipments used to slaughter men, women, and children. Tens of thousands of tons of bombs, missiles, and more have been fuel for this genocide. It is our government which is providing the fuel for the genocide machines that is Zionism. We demand an arms embargo now! Now! This is not some wild dream. Because of history, we know the effectiveness of an arms embargo. When the world placed embargoes in apartheid South Africa, its military was crippled, allowing the people of Namibia to free themselves from occupation. Eventually, it placed the foundations that allowed the masses to completely overthrow their colonial government in South Africa and break their chains. We will not forget when our politicians looked the other way to allow Zionism to commit genocide. We will not forget how Zionists covertly funded and supplied settler colonialism. We will not forget how the Zionists today are scared of BDS and boycotts because they know without our money, they too will fall. They will not be able to escape the people. They will not be able to escape the people. They will not be able to. We will hold them accountable. We will see a liberated Palestine within our lifetime. You see the pigs over there too, walking around. Look at them. Shit.
There's so many pigs here to repress our movement instead of this university funding higher education, funding practices to keep students safe. They're draining the resources, and they're all posted up here for what? 20 students? Shame!
Shame!
Across this country, the government, universities, and law enforcement have cracked down on student activists for protesting against Israel's U.S.-backed genocide of Palestinian people in Gaza. But let me remind you, under international law, we have the right to resist genocide. We have the right to demand an end to the U.S. participation in it. The U.S. has once more chosen the side of oppression. It is not our responsibility, but our duty to never stop fighting against a genocide until Palestine is free from the river to the sea. Before our eyes, we have all seen reports as thousands of students have been arrested. We have all seen cases of Mahmoud Khalil and the Rumeisa Öztürk as they were kidnapped in broad daylight and sent for deportation. and we have seen degrees that students paid for be rescinded. We have watched as colleges let ICE roam campus freely, and we have all bear witness to the expulsion from colleges across this country. Are we going to accept that?
No!
The Florida Palestine Network joins Knights Against Genocide and our comrades from Central Florida Students for Justice and Palestinians on the demands. Specifically, demand number 5, to reject anti-Palestinian conditions for continued federal funding. We reject right-wing policies that threaten to defund higher education, undermining academic freedom and access to learning in order to crush our movements. The use of financial force to silence political expression and students organizing is an attack on every student, faculty, and staff member. Our movement is only the first to repress. All students, specifically those from marginalized communities, must have access to education without fear of political retaliation. We demand that UCF commit to preserving DEI programs, academic freedom, and protect freedom of speech on campus. We cannot let ourselves become conditioned to think this is normal. This is not the time to cower and fear and step away when the moment calls. This is the time to get involved, and this is the time to confront the violence head on and demand an end to it. We refuse to let our futures be dictated by genocidal politicians and their accomplices. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon, comrades. My name is Caleb. I'm speaking on behalf of PSO and a UCF student myself. We're gathered here today in solidarity with our Palestinian comrades. As attacks continue overseas, the current administration has made it a priority to shut down any dissenters to the ongoing genocide. The Department of Justice has already begun strategically going after students and pro-Palestine supporters like Mahmoud Khalil. These injustices will not stop. And even now, centers of higher education like UCF are being strong-armed into compliance. We see all the pigs around. They want to label us as criminals and terrorists and shut down the pro-Palestine movement for good. So, comrades, what is to be done? We're at a crucial crossroads in time where the failures of capitalism are on full display. The truth is on the wall, and we here in the Imperial Corps have a responsibility to act. The war profiteers in bed with our university expose just how committed the university is to the total plundering of the global South, specifically Palestine. We're gathered here today with united goals: the death of Zionism and the death of the capitalist economic system that funds and opposes Israel's false claims. As a party, we stand in solidarity with our Palestinian comrades and recognize that for their suffering to end, the war machine at home must be stopped. We as a people must stand united in support. Our working class comrades in Palestine are depending on us. They fight with bravery and courage and have been for decades. The weapons used against them are built and paid for here in the U.S. Instead of providing for the needs of the people, our government prioritizes killing innocent children, women, and men who simply want liberation. They label freedom fighters as terrorists, all to justify the continuous money supply. No matter who's in charge of the administration, the bombs still fall. The time for change is now. Just like the socialist struggle, the Palestinian people will be free and win. But we must be united on all fronts to stand against the empire and the anti-imperialist coalition. We must continue to be loud and outspoken in our resistance. We must continue fighting back and not sit quietly as the administration and the Department of Justice attempt to strangle the cause. What they don't know is the movement cannot die, for it is the will of the people united. We must remain vigilant and prepare for the unjustified attacks on our comrades across the nation. We must demand that UCF protects its students and divest from the Zionists and war profiteers. We must continue to build support for a socialist America. A socialist America that will not send bombs overseas as its people are overworked and exploited to fund a genocide. The masses must be organized, and the people need to be heard. Comrades, The road ahead will not be easy, and it will take sacrifice and courage. But our Palestinian comrades have answered the call, so we must as well. We will see a free Palestine, and we will see a socialist America. Thank you, comrades.
Thank you.
We are a revolutionary Pan-African socialist political party with the political objective of Pan-Africanism, winning and fighting for one unified socialist Africa. And we understand the Palestinian liberation struggle as part and parcel of the global struggle against imperialism. We want to share our gratitude for the organizers with Students for Justice in Palestine and YDSA for making the university campus a site of struggle. We must understand that we are fighting with the ruling class for the hearts and minds of our youth, for the hearts and minds of our revolutionary future. They are attempting to recruit y'all into the exploitative and genocidal apparatus of imperialism. They want to use your brilliance, your energy to help feed the machine of empire, of destruction. They want you manufacturing the technology. They want you to be policymakers in their infrastructure. They want you to be complicit with genocide and with war. And we salute you for refusing as students to be used in this way, for aligning yourselves with the oppressed peoples of the world, fighting for their liberation, fighting against genocide. We cannot allow this system to make genocide normal. We must understand that the root of the U.S. empire is in genocide, that the indigenous peoples of this hemisphere were the first targets of U.S. imperialism, that enslaved African people were the first targets of U.S. imperialism, and what is happening in occupied Palestine, what is happening in the Congo, what is happening in Sudan, what is happening in Western Sahara, was the inevitable trajectory of the U.S. empire. And so we must, across all sectors of society, from the campus to the job site to our neighborhoods block by block, organize to resist this, organize to refuse normalization, organize to push the war profiteers and the imperialists and the ruling class off of our campuses, out of our neighborhoods. Understand there is no UCF without the students. Understand that these administrators are selling you out to the ruling class, and you have a right to say no. You have the right to push back. You have the right to make sure that this university is organized around social justice and life and not in support of genocide. And so we call for all UCF students to join the Knights Against Genocide, join the fight initiated by SGP and YDSA. Refuse to allow your university and your brilliance to be used to further machinery of war and imperialism. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right, comrades, thank you so much for being here, for listening to these great speakers from these organizations. We want to, at this moment, present to you a new coalition called the Knights Against Genocide Coalition. This is a coalition of different student organizations that are going to struggle together to fight for divestment, for disclosure, for the protection of academic freedom, for DEI, to fight against the presence of ICE on campus. Thank you so much for everyone to be here. We want to invite every single anti-Zionist, principal anti-Zionist student and student organization to be part of this group, to fight against Zionism, to fight against for divestment. We want to invite every single student to our mass meeting April 22nd in the Psychology Building 105 at 4:30 p.m. Again, April 22nd, 4:30 p.m., Psychology Building 105. Thank you. This is just the beginning of a struggle for divestment and against Zionism at UCF. Yeah, you will hear from us more. We will continue to organize, especially at this moment of increasing state repression. We have to double down and be steadfast and committed to anti-Zionism. Thank you.
Thank you. Free Palestine!
We're good on the live. Thank you so much, guys.